We talked about Anthony Nahoro. Do we have one day where we celebrate Chief Anthony Nahoro, the man who moved the first motion for the independence of the entire Nigeria, that today has over 200 million people, the international body called Nigeria? The motion that gave us independence was moved by a man from Unewa in Ward 7. Today, Unewa has not one single edifice that even shows that that man comes from that area. One day is not celebrated to say, this is the man who put Nigeria on the map. We forget our people so easily. I don't want to even talk about my father. I spoke extensively about him. You know, in Amedokhian, I think we should have a day or one day in 5 years, or even something where we as a community will come together and say, you know what, let us celebrate this hero of ours. You know, he did so much. There are also many other names I can come up with. People like B.I.G. Ewa, people who left Uromi, went to Benin, and they did great things. Some are still alive. You know, Chief Tony Aneni died a few years now. A man I greatly respect because he did incredible things. People like him come every 70 years. Someone like Chief Tony Aneni, a great man, a great man. We have forgotten about him already. He hasn't been dead for 5 years. Nobody talks about him. Nobody remembers him. Maybe apart from his nuclear family. Why have we forgotten? Why will we not celebrate these men who have made immense contributions? So the Uromi man, if you don't celebrate yours, who is going to celebrate your people for you? We live in a very selfish world. So if you decide to demarket yourself and say you don't have sons and daughters who have done great things, who is going to come and recognize you as a people? Of what advantage is it for us to be forgetting? We are reading history books about Napoleon Bonaparte, Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, Nelson Mandela, all these great people. We are reading about them. People are writing books about them. But at home, we want to relegate them and forget them as quickly as we can. It would be a lie to say that these people did not affect many lives. They could not have affected every life, but they affected many lives. Chief Aneni is not here. I'm not his spokesman. I'm not his brother, but he was a great man. I'm not his son. He was a great man. Why will I not celebrate him? Because he changed a lot of people's lives. You know, there are people alive today who are doing great things in Uromi, but they are not recognized. People like Ray Roya, for example. I'm sorry if I embarrass these people by mentioning their names. These are people that I can mention many people. And we need to embrace our people, right? I don't even want to talk about politicians who are in Uromi or have been in Uromi, who have held positions. In as much as we would like to criticize people, because being critical is the easiest thing to do, but they have also helped people. Many of them have provided employment. They have put people, to work. They have done projects, and then there's the money. Every time you're giving money, we need to spend more time being grateful than being, bitter about things that don't really matter. So for me, I just think that Uromi people and Uromi land has so many great sons and daughters that we should be proud. We should be marking days. We should have days where we will have maybe an Uromi day, where that day we're just enumerating past sons and daughters. Then for those youth who are listening in that forum, they will also they will aspire to come to the great heights that these fellow sons and daughters, that they also reached. Because at the end of the day, it's the same air and the water that these people drank, that the youth are also drinking today. And see where they got to in life. I think for me, that is greatest inspiration. that we can ever give to any person, to give true testimony, to say, "Oh, bye. Well, only brother, Uromi on bye. See where he is today. See what he did. People like Anestoni, these are people who were just humongous. They all came from Uromi. President today, Chief Agamome, for example. Chief Agamome is a 22nd century man. He's a man who has done such great things, a man who embraces technology, a man who is highly successful in business, a philanthropist extraordinaire. People like this should be celebrated. People should know that they have sons and daughters like this, and that would make us aspire to want to be like them and give us, a sense of belonging, sense of pride. In these days in Nigeria, we no longer have pride. We are no longer proud to be Nigerians because there's so much nonsense that happens because we are Nigerians. So if we can also get a message that is positive from anywhere, let us also search for those messages and disseminate them to the youth, to our communities, to restore that sense of pride that we used to have to be an Uromi citizen. To be from Amedokhian specifically, because in Amedokhian, we also have great sons and daughters. Not Chief Ojomoh, no, many have even come and done amazing things since Chief Ojomoh. That's the truth. You look at Amedokhian now today, new houses are springing up. The town is booming. We have sons and daughters living in Europe, Malaysia, all over the place. And they come home. Well, my brother, if maybe you come home Easter, Christmas, you say Uromi will be bubbly. Uromi is like Las Vegas. That is testimony to the sons and daughters we have now living abroad. Now, what will happen if they are encouraged to come home, set up industry, take up on entrepreneurial initiatives in Amedokhian? You will see that there will be exponential growth in the shortest period of time. But if when you come home, rather than be embraced, people are turning their nose up at you and they're not happy for the progress you are making and all that, there'll be a reluctance to do things at home. So I think we also need to step up, to be more embracing and more accommodating and encouraging of our sons and daughters who are doing marvelously well outside. And as I always say to people, I say, well, Amedokhian not carry last. It's true, my brother. We are doing such great things. I meet brothers and sisters all over the world, and they say to me, bros, how are you managing to go home? I say, just come and try. So I would like that when they try to come, they will also find that the environment is accommodating. So for me, that is really a message that I have. That I think Uromi as a whole, we should set up a day where we recognize our heroes past and present, and let us have a sense of pride. Our Onuje is doing very well, is leading us well. We should also stand by him, encourage him, and of course, no man is an island of knowledge. Kings have they have their cabinet for a single reason, that this cabinet, the chiefs and elders, they come from other communities. So they bring feedback to the king and help him to make sure they steady his administration. So if we have a listening energy, those who are serving him should, come up with honest information, and assist him to add more value to Uromi. He's doing fantastically well, but every good project can be bettered. The technology we are using to have this conversation today, 5 years ago, it existed. Not that it wasn't bad, but people keep building on a good thing. So iPhone 9, iPhone 6, iPhone 13, whatever. It's not that iPhone 6 wasn't good, but people are looking to continuously develop. And this is, what excites me about, the Western world, is that they are never happy with wherever they are. They want to keep adding value, and this is one thing that I have, that I enjoy, is, their success is not really about making money. It's really about adding value to your environment. That is what I think is success. When you are adding value, you are making more people happy. That is success. So you can be very poor and yet be successful in terms of the impact that you are making in people's lives. That is one thing I definitely learned from my father. He was at his happiest when he was making other people happy.
That is probably the real essence of life. Maybe that is the whole essence of life, as it were. No, you see, when you were talking just now, it appeared to me that all of us are in sync about this project, no, of trying to see what we can do about our history, our people. You see, the Nigerian government, for example, okay, I'm not really going into politics. Like I said before, we're going to have a special day for that. We're going to talk politics. For the fact that we don't regard history, we don't look at history as something important to teach people. It's a way of making people to even hate themselves. Because if you don't know where you are coming from, how can you know where you are going? Because that is exactly what history does, because it tells you where you are coming from. What has your ancestors done? One of the initial episodes we did on this Esan conversation has been, where is Amedokhian people coming from? And I really thank Mr. Godwin Itula from Ikeke, who explained to us, and of course we expanded on that when I interviewed Mr. Austin Isibeme. All these are vital information. And how do you expect people to know if you don't tell them? This is what history does. I'm beginning to open it up. I have some team that are working with me. We're going to come with a lot of text material and also audio and video material about these stories. And they are very important because this is our history. This tells us who we are. We can't just be eating pounded yam and rice and say this is the end of it. No, it's not the end of it. We must make sure that we know who we are. Where are we coming from? What have we done before?